This video is made for adult collectors because bro is old man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't wait to finish the rest of these. And he can be here because why not? Also, a little quick thing before I get on to Alchemist, I want to bring this up. So a lot of people in Vortex's video were talking about how it looks like a retool of this guy. And I hadn't got this guy when I filmed Vortex's video. I got this yesterday, the day the video came out, at least at the time of recording this. And they share some engineering. None of the parts in this figure are shared with Vortex. Even the landing gear is completely different. These struts are completely different. They look the same, but they're molded differently. So they share engineering, but there are no actual pieces shared between Vortex and this guy.
Alchemist, the one who eventually becomes Mac Adam and opens a bar, Alchemist Bar, Alcoholicmist Prime, was once one of the great 13 primes, and he has technically had 2 toys before, one being a Prime Master and the other being a Build-A-Figure, because Transformers does that every once in a while, for the first wave of Cyberverse Deluxes. But now Hasbro is giving us all the 13 primes, and for wave 2, we get a fully fledged transforming Alchemist figure. Yeah, wave 2. Here, this is Alchemist Prime from Age of the Primes, and this was bought at Walmart Canada. Here's the box, not sponsored. How many people are still going to be like, where did you get this from? We are filling out the Prime roster, and I'm so happy they are finally getting proper toys, and they look great together so far. Alchemist brings that short and squat build to the team, and he looks the part with that nice deep forest green and the bits of yellow, gold, and silver. I also dig the shade of gray they used on the limbs. It's a darker shade, which works so much better than that light unpainted gray they like to use from time to time. I love all of the circle details on him, on the arms, the chest, and the glasses. They match his glasses weapon thing. Head sculpt is like, I love it. It looks like Cam from Toy Hacks. I love the stash and the goatee with the glasses and like the old-timey fighter jet looking hat. He has that stocky Cyberverse design, the Cyberverse design that is just Thew. I love that. This figure also cleans up super well. Nothing bad hanging off anywhere, and it packs itself together quite nicely. Mine does have a bit of a loose hip, but it's fixable. The waist is on screws. He does come with the glasses. No, not the ones that lead to the Allspark, but these, which look weird on me, but for him, they look really cool. And they can split to be swords of sorts, really bulky, fat, blunt swords. But they're asymmetrical, which is neat, and they bear his symbol on the front. But this figure being short and stocky, you would expect him to not be that well articulated, but nah, that's not the case. Utilizing the glasses blades, you can actually do some very dynamic things with this toy.
Now, much like Vortex, Alchemist's articulation is very standard, but like it's still a little bit more fun to mess with than Vortex, and I think it's because it has more range in those standard joints. So the head is on a ball joint. You get absolutely no tilt, which is annoying. You can look up that far and you can look down that far. However, because of the flip-me-do hinge for transformation, you can get him to look down that far, which also means, because the head can rotate left and right, but it bumps into the collar. But if you utilize that joint, you can get him to look like this. So I do like that. The shoulders, they can do a full 360. They can go in and out. You have a really stiff bicep rotation, 90-degree bend at the elbow, nothing at the wrist just because of how they transform. He does have a full 360 degrees at the waist. The hips can go forward, they can go back, they can go out. You can do a full splits. You have your thigh rotation. You have 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And then you have ankle tilt. But if you open this up, you can bring the feet down and then close that up. Because I was wondering, how did Mark do this pose? He got him to look like this in the photos on Instagram. I was like, how did he do that? Oh, he just opened this panel up and pushed the foot. But yeah, he is pretty much standard. I will say one of the things that I've noticed while messing with this, especially while filming it, is holding it on the back here does untab the windshield. Not a horrible thing, but it is a slight annoyance. The windshield is clear, but there are double stacked hinges on that, so I don't think that's going to break ever because they've reinforced it. It's also the only bit of clear on this figure other than his weapons, so yeah.
So I adore this robot mode. I thought I was gonna like Vortex a little bit more, but after messing with both of them, I kind of dig Alchemist more. Not saying Vortex is bad at all, I just think Alchemist is a bit more fun. Anyways, onto his weird reactivate Soundwave looking van mode. I can't find my reactivate Soundwave, it's pissing me off.
So Alchemist shares some engineering tropes with like the Siege Ironhide mold. Doesn't share any actual engineering, but like where the limbs end up and stuff is very Siege Ironhide. So to start with, what we're going to do is open the chest up and then fold the head in and close that up. Then we're going to take the waist and rotate it 180 degrees. Now we're going to work on the arms. So one thing that you have to note with the arms, you fold the fists in. Now the instructions show these folded completely flat. Don't do that, because I followed that instruction thing and I don't know how well you're going to see it, but when I push this arm too far in, you notice that stress mark there? Yeah, that's from me trying to push these in all the way flat. They don't go flat because you see that BR in there? That is the end of the 5mm port, and that presses up against the underside of the hand and stops it from going any further. So the instructions are incorrect, because I looked at Mark's photos, again on Instagram, and his Alchemist vehicle mode was also like this with the hands when they're in alt mode. So this is, just be careful, don't push them past where they're supposed to go. But once you have that all folded up, we're going to take the arms and unpeg them from the side, bring them up, and rotate this around so that it sits like that. So just get that all nice and placed. Now we're going to work on the legs. So you want to bring these sections out, fold up the feet, do that on both sides, fold up the feet, and then these will clip together. If I can get it, there we go. And then you bring this section down, you bend it at the knees to get it out of the way. Now another thing to be careful of, because this is another thing that I noticed that I did, stress on the tabs. This is for me trying to jam it into place. Please don't do that. So these tabs right here are going to go into these waist slots here. I didn't know that when I was going, and so I busted up these side tabs, because once you get all this tab together, these need to just slide into here. But because I didn't have the waist lined up, I couldn't slide these in, and I was putting stress on the tabs. So you got to make sure everything's nice and lined up so that it slides in perfectly. It's not the toy's fault, that is completely my fault, but I want to make sure you don't make the same mistake I did. Then you fold these together, and that will sort of sit the hands in place. Then you take this section here, fold it up, and it will clip underneath the shoulders. And there you have him in his like weird military van mode thing with the hands poking out, but that's fine. The transformation is fun. You just have to make sure you do it properly and not like an idiot like me, so you don't stress two parts. But yes, that is still a really fun transformation to do, and I've been flipping it back and forth at my desk for a while now.
I wish we got more alt modes like this in Transformers. It looks so much like Reactivate Soundwave to me. They're two very different toys, but the alt mode feels the same, kind of. Also pretend this is Reactivate Soundwave. But this looks so cool. It's an all-round, complete-looking van with the hands just kind of hanging out there, but it's very robust and compact. He actually shrinks in this mode. I love the black outline around the windshield and the vents on the side, and I dig how the black on the windshield kind of flows into the side and front portions of the vehicle to complete that sort of black stripe around the edges of it. You can store the glasses on the top because it Transformers weapon storage, and unfortunately all the wheels are clipped in, but they still roll pretty well because of the ground clearance, so that's nice. It's just a solid toy. All the deluxes from Wave 2 are, even Crasher. I definitely recommend him once he's out. Again, if you're in Canada, you can buy him now, but anywhere else in the world, you're gonna have to wait, which is weird. Walmart's weird, but he's fun, solid, well-articulated, and not overly complex, and I really like it. But that's my look at Alchemist Prime. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.